A year ago, exactly a year ago this month,
Yeah.
um, Ramaphosa wanted me to send a letter to Elon asking for Elon to become more involved in South Africa
Wow.
and to give the ANC a bit of a thumbs up because the election was coming in May last year, you know.
So you got
So,
word from Ramaphosa that he wanted you to
well,
intervene
they sent
too.
me the letter.
Wow.
So I looked at the letter and I thought, well, Elon's not going to endorse the ANC. Elon is a straight kind of guy, you know.
So he shouldn't. Yeah.
He's the kind of guy you really want in business. So if you go to a place that's a plumber or electrician or car repair place, they tell you to come at 4:30, your car will be ready or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy Elon. He's a task completer
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, he likes, that's him. He's not a dreamer or something, you know.
Sure.
And yeah, so I realized this letter's not really the kind of thing that Elon's going to respond to. I told the people from Ramaphosa that I don't think Elon will respond to this. And they said, well, leave it then. Don't send the letter. So I did send a letter to Elon out of interest. But we didn't respond to that. So the interest then was that they would like to involve Elon in more in South Africa, which
Sure.
is good.
Sure.
And, you know, and then, as you say, what do I feel about it now or something? I think that South Africa is not a major issue in America.
Sure.
It would be a very tiny part of everything.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, not the greatest to tell South Africans that if you go to America, you probably never hear the term South African in the next 6 months from anyone or anywhere or on television or anywhere.
Sure.
So, yeah, but I'd say that Mbeki was quite, I saw his interview where he said that being rude to the boss or being rude to the guys who are feeding you and all that kind of stuff is a bit stupid, you know. You don't want to do that, you know. I mean, people are in a position, it's like you in your job or where you are.
Sure.
You don't want to slur the management over a beer in the evening just because they didn't promote you particularly. You know, and so yeah, I think America's got terrible tasks on its hands, and difficult tasks. And what they really want to see is an end to the same kind of corruption that they have there. Here, we have it here as well. And we have terrible corruption where we don't know where R1 billion that went to Eskom, we don't know where it went. Nobody knows where it went. And, you know, and it's nice to see a certain number of people of all the races getting beautiful homes and driving the most expensive vehicles and all that sort of stuff. But when they suddenly do that out of fresh air, you know, you start to worry. And there is the general consensus which I would go with, and that is very little seems to be the ordinary poor, sometimes even white people in trailer parks now, black people in townships. They don't seem to get, nobody seems to really worry about them, if you know what I mean. It's more like the guys in suits who are more concerned about what they're getting or not getting, if you know what I mean. And as I said earlier, when we were in general discussion, when I read this article by BizNews, I think it was BizNews or BizTech or something, that only 7 million people out of 63 million people in South Africa actually have a job. That's very worrying. I mean, it's not worrying, it's what?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, that is an indication of things can only go worse, you know. So it's difficult all round, you know.
Yeah.
Indiscriminate number of children born. I'm not saying you shouldn't have children, but if you're going to have children, you need to know who the father was and is, and you need to know how you're going to raise the child. The state can't, you know, the population, the black population of South Africa was estimated in 1910 at about 800,000. And the other populations were estimated as colored, white, and Indian as 400,000. And then, you know, 100 years later, the black population was something like 55 million. And the colored Indian and white population was 4.5 million. So that didn't make sense. So under the 100 years that went by, clearly the black population benefited greatly by increasing in number, hundredfold, because things must have been very good. How do you increase in number so much? Nowadays, with the things that have gone wrong in Zimbabwe and places like that, in Zambia I see it as well, the population is decreasing. It's getting less because, I've been in western parts of Zambia where the Zambezi River flows north-south. And I was busy there with a lot of things. And the people are eating bulrushes, grass, anything. There's no food, dying of starvation.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm interested in your comments on America as well. And what do you make of, this moment of your son's rise in America is actually, firstly, it's extremely quick, not business-wise, but politically.
Oh, yeah.
For him to not only be at the pinnacle of business, but now also politics in a way.
Yes.
And what do you make of that? And how do you think he and Trump ended up seeing eye to eye? What do you think Trump said to him or he said to Trump?
When all my children went to the US, certainly the boys, and the three older ones, and that's my daughter and the two boys, they immediately became Democrats. And the reason they did that was the Democrats seemed to be in support of the underdog.
Sure.
And for that reason, they were very big Democrats. You couldn't even talk to them about anything else. They were Democrats. And this went on for a long time. I personally looked at it and worried about that they were not being realistic. But at any rate, it wasn't a big problem. So just leave it. And then when I'm just trying to go back, when Trump stood for election in 2016,
sure. 16, yeah.
They actually came to South Africa for my 70th birthday, my son's, and they brought a lot of people with them from America, and we had a big party. And at the party, the people said to me, they said, we believe you support Trump. So I said yes, and everybody laughed, said it was, they really laughed and said, but that's ridiculous. And Elon and Kimball and I sat there, and then afterwards Elon and Kimball said to me, how could I be so stupid? And I should have said I don't know, and all that sort of thing. And so that was another problem.
Wow.
The first problem I had with Elon and Kimball was that they asked us to come and live in America in 2002.
I see.
And we went to live there, but my family didn't like it. My wife and children, we didn't like America, and we wanted to come back to South Africa. And we actually escaped. We bought tickets and escaped we actually literally escaped from.
Wow.
After which Elon and Kimball said they never want to talk to us again. That was the estrangement that was supposed to have occurred between me and Elon.
I see.
That was it.